What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Oscar. This is my channel where I talk about reality, awareness, consciousness, and discovering your true nature beyond the conventional. So, this video is continuing the Matrix series. This is going to be part one. So, I left off last video. I talked a little bit about the Matrix, the movie, what it's about, and how I'm going to talk about that in comparison to our reality and, the dynamics, the paradigms, the structures, the systems that are in place within the movie and also in place within our reality. And this is also going to be a general video because each and every one of the terms that I will be talking about in this video and putting into perspective deserve their own video with their own depth and understanding. So you can further integrate the information, and the understanding of what is what and what is false and what doesn't make sense or what makes sense. Of course, through my opinion, my journey, my experience. So I left off last time giving you a couple of terms. And the terms were consumerism, materialism, mass media, technology, diet, and religion. Okay? So the number is not important. It's just to show you those types of terms, those words, and what does that mean to you when you hear those words? Well, in my opinion, when I hear those words, I think programs and systems and paradigms that are working within our world, at least within where I live. But I can see from all over the world, it's everywhere. That's happening all over the place. And there's some nations, there's some countries that are doing a little better, right? They're a little more wholesome when it comes to, becoming your best version, being more authentic and nice. But I see that the masses are still functioning in this same type of pattern, the same cycle. Wake up, eat, work, sleep, sex, drink, drugs, all these things. And they're not, and even though there's so many people waking up to their true potential, a lot of us are still within the quote unquote matrix. And what do I mean when I say matrix? When I say matrix, I mean that whole complete program and way of doing things. The way we operate as human beings normally, what we classify as a normal human being and normal human life, that and what is also considered conventional. That is what I'm referring to when I say the Matrix. So in the movie, the Matrix is that artificial simulation that the artificial robots created. They created a VR, virtual reality, for all the humans that they're using as batteries, as energy source. So since they're using them and they're unconscious, they created a reality for them to keep on living and thinking that they're okay and alive when they're basically the entire world is like on fire. So when I think about that, I see our reality and I see the same exact thing, except that we have many more Neos. We have many more main characters like in the movie that are finally realizing the power of their mind. And that's another big theme in the movie. But first, let's get to the beginning. So we have this whole problem with the virtual simulation. Everyone is stuck in one way of doing things. So first, to break out of the cycle and to understand how to break free from the matrix, right? The system of doing things and this way of living and thinking and being, you must first become aware of that which is keeping you trapped. And what's keeping you trapped? What's keeping you trapped is the consumerism, the materialism. You always searching for pleasure and pain. The fact that your mind was built and trained through years and years of education to only think a certain way. Haven't you noticed that throughout all your school years, if you have gone to school, that you have been learning along with many other people one way of approaching life, one way of thinking, that you were following a system that was preparing you for the next step of the system. High school, college, high school, college, high school, want to be successful, college. It's a system, and it's been in place for a pretty long while. And it keeps people from trying something new. And it distracts them from their true potential, because look how many years go by. Look how much debt accumulates. So even if you do get a good job, you still got to pay off all that debt. And then you have the materialism, the consumerism, with people always wanting to eat, drink, sleep, have sex. Everyone's very complacent with their life. We live our life working a normal job, just like in the movie, and just go home and end up going to sleep. Or on the weekends or whenever we have off, we go drink and have fun. We look for pleasure whenever it is that we're doing life. Why can't you always be in a state of pleasure though? In a state of bliss and happiness, not wanting it so desperately after a long, boring week of the normal routine life. And that's where I hope to enlighten and open your mind a little bit and show you that it's your choice. Just like in the movie, where the main character has the option between the red pill and the blue pill, you also have two choices. Whether stay in your routine, doing things very comfortably and easygoing, and just going through life, going through the obstacles, the normal obstacles of life, and seeing life as a random sequence of events. Or you can choose to evolve and take that path into the unknown, embark on a new journey, discover new truths through your open mind and curiosity. Therefore, leading you to put the dots together, learn that you are actually, and learn and become aware that you are the creator of your reality, experience magic on a daily basis, and encounter loving, authentic, transparent, intelligent human beings that are waiting to meet you. And I'm not saying that if you're watching this video right now, you're not intelligent, or that you're not aware of creating a reality, you're not intelligent. Because you're watching this video, and if you get to this video to begin with, you're one step ahead of the game. And this is all coming to you. But through this personal development, you shift from a victim of the normal, right? Structures, the systems that are in place, the matrix. You shift from that and to finally take a responsibility for your power that you have, that you can actually go for the life of your dreams without hesitation. And you shouldn't be scared, right? Let me tell you, again, media, the theaters, all these things are created beforehand. Before you were born on this planet, they were already here. So you basically, when you were a baby and you were being raised by your parents that were also within the system, you don't have a choice. You literally come down here and you're raised, right, in alignment with what your parents think and what they feel. But what if your parents are still in the system and they haven't done the work and they don't know the truth and they're still raising you to not know the truth as well? So you see how it's like a loop? It's a cycle. Every time a person is born, depending on their parents, which for the most part, the majority, they're still in the system. They raise their kids in that certain way. They tell the kids with passion, with conviction and emotion, you must go do this, you must do that. This is how you got to do your life. This is the right way. Passing on their own interests, passing on their own aspirations to their kids. Therefore, you grow up and you're confused. You don't know whether to follow your dreams, follow your gut, follow your heart, or to just live a normal life and think that life is just always boring and, oh man, life is so stressful. Guess what? You chose that. So it's crazy because you don't get a chance to really know the world, to start to understand the world until you finally reach that point where you become sick of life, or that you have this feeling within you to want to know something a little more, a little deeper. And that's where you start discovering, you start doing the research, just like in the movie, one um, event leads to another. It's like a domino effect, one step at a time. And each step that you take, each decision you make leads you to another realization or an experience. Because at first he was still working at the job, and the main character in the movie, he was still working at his job, and then he was curious about what the matrix meant, and then things started happening. His journey started, his journey into the unknown, and he got the choice. Do I want to stay in my life where I don't know anything and everything's boring and I hate it, or do I want to go to and take this path with this guy that can offer me a higher truth. And then he starts to train. And at first, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you start to train yourself. You start to build new patterns. Because remember, if also, I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to end it off on this note that if you came to this world and you were programmed to act a certain way, think a certain way, speak and do things a certain way, as we've been taught throughout our years of living and on this earth, then who's to tell you that you can't reprogram yourself once again? But now in your own way, now unbiasedly, without the ego, authentically, transparently, with conviction and confidence, embracing everything, evolving into your highest, most authentic version, therefore discovering and figuring out who you really are, your true nature. That understanding of, wow, this world, what is it? Starts to come. You start to put it together just by your intuition, just by you becoming a better you. The truth reveals itself. And also with the intention of wanting to know. Remember, curious, open mind. So you can reprogram yourself. But first, the first step is becoming aware of these programs, these things that are dominating your life. All the consumerism, the materialism, the way we currently do things, the way we work, the way we think logically, and that we're very skeptical to try new things because it goes against what we believe. Who cares? I tell you, who cares if it's not in alignment with what everyone believes? Who cares if people think you're crazy? I think you're crazy not to try something new and to just stay complacent. Just think about it. What's better? Complacency, being stagnant, being ignorant and closed-minded, right? You have that right here. Or being someone open, thrilling, excited, authentic, transparent, open-hearted, and earnest. Like, which person are you going to choose to have on your side? The one that acts out of love or the one that acts out of fear and is always talking and doing things in life like a victim, or the one that takes charge and responsibility with honesty and righteousness, right? Just an example to show you who are you choosing to be? Which pill are you choosing to take, right? And therefore, by doing these steps, by taking these steps and realizing that you have that power to shape your mind, and like I said, it's not going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but you are able to slowly but surely, with practice, reestablish these beliefs, heal yourself from all those past traumas and baggage, all those false, limited beliefs that don't serve your highest good, whatever they may be, because what I consider to be illusory, right? Let's not say false, but illusory and not completely in alignment with the truth, you might find to be true. And that's okay because everyone grows at their own pace. But continue this. You're already aware of the dynamics that dominate your life, the technology, social media. Who's in control? Always think to yourself, who's in control of your life? Are you living the life on your terms, or are you living life like a puppet? And sometimes I feel like it's a little negative when I say, but sometimes like a sheep, right? You just follow what everyone else is doing, but why don't you break the barrier and find what you really want to do from a place of searching, seeking for something more, becoming more powerful? Because a lot of people are doing that, but they're doing it within the matrix, and that's okay. Lastly, before I end this video, I want to say that everyone's within the matrix to a certain degree. The only important part that I want you to understand in this part one video is that you have the choice to reprogram yourself so that now you are free from the matrix. Because there's a difference between being stuck in the matrix and blinded, right, by all these things and how things work and not being curious at all, to finally being free, breaking free from the matrix, getting a peep of what's outside, what's actually true, the things that actually make sense, and show you who you really are in this world. And after you get that little peep into the unknown, and you get validation and then confirmation, it's like you're free. You're completely free. Now you can decide, and now you literally take responsibility happily because you're like, wow, now I can really create my life. But you're going to have to go through that process. Remember, your body, it's like a biological vehicle. Your mind is like a computer, a supercomputer. So you're gonna have to reestablish who you think you are, step by step by step. And like I said, after each step you take, then comes an experience, then comes that feeling of I am more and more confident, just like Neo, just like the guy from the movie. And you start to rise on your journey, you start to increase in your levels of awareness, consciousness, therefore integrating all this knowledge, all this understanding normally, simply, and lovingly so. So hope that provided you with some clarity, right? Don't worry, I'm going to make another video, part 2, about how I fell into some of the traps and how I started to ask myself questions. So this allowed me to understand how I can break free just by self-inquiry, just by connecting the obvious logical dots together. And I know you can understand that because guess what? We went to school. So at least we were trained to logically understand things, right? So thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in part 2.